Peace and welcome. You may have heard of some of these devices, such as the Wecast, the Anycast, or even the Mirascreen. But let me introduce you to the CS5. This device alone replaces every single one of those. So let's get right into this. So, as you can see, it comes with two cables. A lot different than a lot of the other devices. It just comes usually with like a dongle. This dongle is built in to the cable. So, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. This goes to the TV or the monitor, whatever you want to view on. USB for power. To the computer and power again. So, it's pretty self-explanatory. Everything's written right on the cables. So, let me show you how to plug it in, and let's do this. Okay, first thing you want to do, take the cable marked computer. I'm trying to get a good view of that. And of course, the other end says power. So hook that up into your source, HDMI, and USB. If you do not have a spare USB port on your TV or laptop, you can always use an adapter like this. Just plug the USB into there and then plug that into the wall. Okay, in our next step, take the cable marked TV/monitor. The other side is, of course, marked power. So, this is where you want the image and the audio to be displayed. So plug this in your monitor or your TV. This is my TV. Okay, so next we power up our TV. Go to the right input channel, and you will be met with this. Right now it's syncing. Just give it a few seconds, and it's done. That's actually the screensaver on my laptop, but as you can see, the computer is now projected onto the TV. So that's all you need to do. It's actually rather easy to set up, especially compared to all of the other previous versions. There was a lot of setting up to do in this one. And yeah, as you can see, it plays. There's some DGR and some Mario Maker. So before we go, I am actually going to experiment with this a little bit, and let's see if I can get this to work on more than just my laptop. So, I just booted it up on the PlayStation 5. I want to play just a little bit. I'm just going to play Sonic. It's a good game to know if the game's lagging or not. I want to see the latency. Okay, so I'll even hold it up and hit the button. Okay, so little bit of lag. It's going to be difficult for fighting games and games that are real precise. I don't think you're going to want to play Call of Duty. This is playable though, actually. The more I'm playing this Sonic, this is 100% playable. If it's a competitive game and you're going versus another player, maybe not. They'll have a little bit of an advantage in a competitive environment. You don't want that. But if you're playing just a platformer or something, this might be okay. I was expecting it to be a little bit worse, to be honest. But this is actually a little bit playable. So interesting. I have the item here. Let me show you. Here's the actual proof. So HDMI plugged into the back, USB plugged into the front, only because my headset's taking up the rear port. And for some reason, PS5 only has two USB ports, one on the front, one on the back, but that's another story. Anyways, long story short, that works. I'm a little bit surprised on how playable it really is. But it is playable. So that's kind of cool. One other thing I do believe that is worth mentioning, when you use this on something like a laptop and you have the video out go to the TV, it mirrors the image. So you can have two devices playing the same thing. If that's something that's handy for you, then this might be the device for you. One other thing that I'm just testing for now, I'm using the device on a splitter. I'm only using the PlayStation for power, so ignore the PlayStation. The video source goes into the splitter. The splitter goes out to two different sources. The first one comes up into the TV, and then the second one, as you can see, will follow it to another TV.
No underscores, nothing fancy, just straight up hoop.
So let's say, for example, you have a video game tournament. Obviously, you don't want to play the tournament with that little bit of, that split second of lag. So maybe, they're playing the tournament here, and then this goes to a big screen for the audience to see. The audience won't notice any lag because it's not going to be that noticeable when you're not playing. So maybe if you're holding a tournament or have a place where, you want one big monitor, then this might be the device. Okay, so the last test that I have today involves hooking it up to an Elgato and capturing some footage. As you can see, it works. So what I want to show you is the quality of the video that goes through this adapter. So what you're gonna see on the screen right now is capped directly from the device. And I would have to say I am very pleasantly surprised. The quality, it is noticeable in certain little spots, but for the most part, it's really good. The quality is really good. I'm using an Elgato HD 60, so it does cap in 60 frames a second, and I did turn the bitrate up a little bit, so I would have to say this is a very good representation. I'm gonna keep it down for a minute, and I'm also gonna let you hear the audio through this device. When comparing it directly, yes, the colors are a little bit faded, but overall, it's really not that bad. Watching a movie, watching a show, completely doable. However, when it comes to the game, that will just depend on the game itself. As far as my opinion, this is far easier to set up than any of the previous models, and the lag or the latency is a lot less. So this is 100% better than every previous model. Last but never least, our golden tier patrons, Bearsona, Quantom X, MJJ, and Sloperij Janssen. I am ICC. Thanks for watching. Peace.